Hello everyone, welcome to a new lesson. In this session, we'll look at a story called Sticky Fingers. 今天我们学习的课文是 Sticky Fingers, 黏糊的手指。This is a very interesting title. Now, the story is about a woman who was interrupted when she was busy. 故事呢，讲的是一位妇女在忙活中被人打断的这么一个故事。好，我们先来看看本课中的关键词和短语。Sticky, pie, 肉馅饼就是 meat pie, pastry, annoying, receiver, dismayed, recognize. Helen Bates, 这是故事中的人名。Persuade, hang up, mess, doorknob, sign for, registered letter. Okay, now let's look at the questions together before you watch the flash. 在大家看动漫之前呢，我们一起来看看本课的问题。What did the writer begin to make after she returned home from the shops? 作者在从商店回来以后，回到家以后，开始做什么？ What was the writer doing when the telephone rang? 电话铃响的时候，作者正在做什么事情？ What happened right after the writer got back to the kitchen? 作者一回到厨房以后，又发生了什么？
After breakfast, I sent the children to school and then I went to the shops. It was still early when I returned home. The children were at school, my husband was at work, and the house was quiet. So I decided to make some meat pies. In a short time, I was busy mixing butter and flour, and my hands were soon covered with sticky pastry. At exactly that moment, the telephone rang. Nothing could have been more annoying. I picked up the receiver between two sticky fingers and was dismayed when I recognized the voice of Helen Bates. It took me 10 minutes to persuade her to ring back later. At last I hung up the receiver. What a mess! There was pastry on my fingers, on the telephone, and on the doorknobs. I had no sooner got back to the kitchen than the doorbell rang, loud enough to wake the dead. This time it was the postman, and he wanted me to sign for a registered letter.
Have you enjoyed the show? All right, now let's take up the questions again. What did the writer begin to make after she returned home from the shops? 作者从商店回到家以后开始做什么？ She began to make some meat pies. 回到家以后呢，她开始做一些肉饼。What was the writer doing when the telephone rang? 电话铃响的时候，作者正在干什么？ She was mixing butter and flour, and her hands were covered with sticky pastry. 电话铃响的时候呢，她正在把黄油和面粉搅和在一起，她的手上呢满是黏糊糊的面团。What happened right after the writer got back to the kitchen? 作者一回到厨房以后，又发生了什么？ The doorbell rang, and it was the postman who wanted the writer to sign for a registered letter. 这时呢，电话铃又响了。有一位邮差要作者签收一封挂号信。Okay, that's it for the questions and answers. Now, let's look at the language points. The children were at school, my husband was at work, and the house was quiet. 孩子们在学校上学，我的丈夫在上班，整个屋子呢很安静。请大家注意 be at school, be at work 分别表示在学校上学，在上班的意思。Nothing could have been more annoying. 没有什么能比这种事情更烦人了。这句中的 could 不是能够怎么样，而是表示可能性。这个句子呢，其实后面有省略的成分，我们可以看作是省略了 than this， 也就是这种事情。那么这种事情是什么呢？是 The telephone rings when you are in the middle of something。 你正在做的什么事情的时候，电话铃响了。I picked up the receiver between two sticky fingers and was dismayed when I recognized the voice of Helen Bates。 我用2个沾满面糊的手指捏起了话筒。当我听出是 Helen Bates 的声音时呢，非常的丧气。请大家注意一下介词 between 的用法。我们再来看一看 We have $100 between us。 这句话的意思是我们2人共有100块钱。Be dismayed 意思是感觉到沮丧、丧气。那么它后面也可以跟介词，请看这个例句 He was dismayed at the price of the shoes。 他对这双鞋的价钱呢感到非常的沮丧。Be dismayed at。 It took me 10 minutes to persuade her to ring back later。 我花了10分钟的时间才说服她再过一会儿打来。Persuade somebody to do something 意思是说服某人做某事。请看例句 No one can persuade her to change her mind。 没有人能说服她改变主意。At last, I hung up the receiver。 最后我挂了话筒。其实 hang up 作为一个固定短语，本身就有挂断电话的意思。What a mess！ 这是一个感叹句。完整的感叹句呢是 What a mess it was！ 意思是哎呀，真是糟糕透了。The kitchen is in a mess。 厨房里一片乱七八糟。Be in a mess 意思是乱糟糟的。再看下一个原点 I had no sooner got back to the kitchen than the doorbell rang loud enough to wake the dead。 我刚一回到厨房，门铃又响了起来，这声音呢能把死人都给叫醒。Had no sooner done something than something happened。 这种句式呢我们已经接触过，表示一怎么样就怎么样。Loud enough to wake the dead， 在这里呢做状语，修饰动词 rang。 请大家注意 loud 在这里是做副词用。Enough 的用法，我们再来看一个例句 He is old enough to understand that 他的年龄已经大得足以让他明白那件事情了。The dead 相当于 dead people， 死人。我们再看看下面这个类似的用法。The rich 意思是富人，相当于 rich people。The poor 穷人，相当于 poor people。The disabled 残疾人，相当于 disabled people。下面呢，我们就讲讲本课的关键句型。在这一课中出现了好几个用连词 and 连接分句的并列句。下面呢，我们就看看其中的2句。In a short time, I was busy mixing butter and flour, and my hands were soon covered with sticky pastry. 这是一个并列句，连词呢是 and 在这里。I picked up the receiver between 2 sticky fingers and was dismayed when I recognized the voice of Helen Bates. 这个句子中，并列句的连词 and 连接2个分句，分句的主语呢都是 I， 所以呢在这里呢可以省略。好，下面呢我们再看看本课中冠词的用法，我们一起来看一看。After breakfast, I sent the children to school, and then I went to the shops. 在这里 the children 指的是 my children， 是作者指自己的孩子。school 前面呢不加任何的冠词，因为 go to school 或者是 send somebody to school 意思是上学或者是送某人上学。但是 go to the shops 这里呢就要加定冠词 the， 意思是去商店买东西。类似这样的例子呢还有 go to the post office 去邮局， go to the bank 去银行， go to the cinema 去戏院看戏。再看下一个句子 The children were at school, my husband were at work, and the house was quiet. 刚才我们已经讲到了 the children 指的是作者的孩子， the house 指的是他们的房子。好，再看下一句 I was dismayed when I recognized the voice of Helen Bates. 这里呢特指是 Helen Bates 的声音，所以前面要加定冠词 the。 This time it was the postman, and he wanted me to sign for a registered letter. 这个句子中 postman 前面用了定冠词，指的并不是任何一位邮差，而是指上门来的这位邮差。学完这篇课文，大家回想一下，自己是不是也有过手指黏糊糊的时候呢？ Have you ever had similar experiences? That is, you were interrupted when you were in the middle of something. For example, when you were watching a very interesting TV program, or while you were cooking, etc. Did you feel annoyed in those circumstances? Would it drive you crazy if you were interrupted repeatedly? With these questions, we'll end our lesson for today. Bye for now.